Today I'm making Betty Crocker chocolate crinkle cookies. I've made these one other time, but I think I had to use chocolate chips instead of the unsweetened baker's chocolate. So on this day I have the correct ingredients. This is the chocolate once it's melted. I did this slowly in the microwave. This is a cookie that I would say is more for holidays or special occasions, at least in my house, because it has 2 full cups of sugar, so it is very sweet. It would not be a cookie I make on a regular basis. Getting in the vanilla and the oil along with that chocolate and sugar. Mixing this, and I had let the chocolate cool, it says in the directions to let it cool down, and then I ran it through in the mixer for a minute and let it cool more before I added the eggs, because I do not want to cook the eggs when I add them. There are also 4 eggs in this recipe, so definitely a more decadent type of cookie. Getting in the dry ingredients now. I did pause the mixer and scrape down the sides a couple times, and this is what it looks like. It is very sticky. You can see here it doesn't come off the spatula very easily. So you do have to refrigerate this for a few hours. So I got that in a container and we'll get that in the refrigerator. I think it's been about 4 hours, and I'm just showing you this is what the consistency is like. I started off with this larger scoop and then realized these are supposed to be a much smaller cookie. I think it's more like a tablespoon size. I tried using my smaller scooper, but the dough was too sticky, so I ended up using just a couple teaspoons to scrape the dough off, roll it into a ball. Then you have to roll it in the powdered sugar, and this makes a lot of cookies, so it is fairly labor intensive. But here is how they looked right after they came out of the oven, and you can see that crinkly topping from the powdered sugar. I realized I overcrowded my cookie sheets. I should have gotten out 1 or 2 more baking sheets. So these did have to bake a few extra minutes, but they turned out great. It's a very brownie-like texture, I would say, and taste, but definitely worth the effort.